There's some powerful, I want to say legislation is going on right now. There's a bill on deck that is called the First Step Act. All right. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to get deep with this, man. I have my guy in the studio, Louis L. Reed. Now, I just met him, and the connection is crazy. What we've been talking about behind the scenes has been crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of symmetry here, man.
Yes.
This is almost like, you look at my eyes, I look in your eyes, and like rainbows and unicorns.
And let's go, man. Let's go with it. So listen, first of all, give the people background on you so that we could get into what this First Step Act is.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Louis L. Reed. I'm the national organizer for Cut 50. Cut 50 is a bipartisan criminal justice initiative co-founded by CNN political commentator and now reformed CEO Van Jones. For you guys who don't know Van Jones is probably one of the few black guys that's on CNN, bald head guy with the glasses, right? Yes. We have a very simple but distinct mission. We want to be able to reduce the federal the overall prison population, and we also want to be able to reduce crime in the United States of America in half. And we want to do that within the next 10 years.
Right. Now, from what I understand, by July 14th, as many as 2,500
people are going to be released from the First Step Act. The First Step Act was the equivalent of the little engine that could.
Wow.
Right? This was a coalition of bipartisan support.
Okay.
People who were formerly incarcerated on both sides of the aisle who met right in the middle and said that we need to do something about our federal criminal justice system. And so it was led by people who were formerly incarcerated. It was supported by Van Jones, and we had celebrity support and celebrity endorsement of the bill. But for the most part, this campaign in and of itself was very unique, whereas we led this charge. And when people say, I got issues with Trump, right? Like, I got some suspicion around Trump. I got suspicions around Trump as well. Right. Trump could be just as wrong on criminal justice reform as he is on immigration, as he is on domestic policy, as he is on foreign policy, etc. Right. But, to quote Jay-Z, I got 99 problems with Trump, but the First Step Act ain't one of them. Right? So this bill in and of itself, it serves several things. Number one, it increases good time for people who are currently incarcerated in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, ergo the 2,500 people who are going to be released on July 14th. Right. It's going to prohibit shackling of pregnant women while they are incarcerated. It's also going to unlock education access for approximately 16,000 people who are currently waitlisted. So you have to consider this, DJ Big Man, right? When I was incarcerated, my education was subsidized by some brown paper bag under the mattress drug money, right? By my family, by, the goodwill of friends, so on and so forth. Every person who is incarcerated should have access to basic literacy. We're talking about GED testing. We're talking about vocational training. We're not even talking about post-secondary education like how I had the privilege of matriculating through university while I was incarcerated, right? We're talking about basic literacy, man. This is stuff that, these cats should not be oiling themselves down, going into the gym, pumping weights, and sending pictures home to their baby mamas, right? People should have access to education while they are incarcerated, if they so choose. So the First Step Act is actually going to unlock that education. Okay. Additionally, talking about crack cocaine disparity, right? Back in 2010, under the Obama administration, that administration tried to get crack cocaine disparity retroactive. They were unsuccessful in doing so. We have been able to do that in the First Step Act, right? So where we're talking about, now in our nation, opioids happen to be an epidemic. Right. But it's an epidemic because you have affluent communities who are being impacted by it, right? But it's always been an epidemic in Bridgeport, in Hartford, in Waterbury, in New Haven, in communities of black, brown, and poor whites. Right. So as it relates to the crack cocaine disparity, that has now been made retroactive. So all of those people who were not able to receive some form of relief back in 2010, those families are going to be home for Father's Day. Wow. Those families are going to be at the Thanksgiving table this November. Those families are going to be able to have a presence under their tree for Christmas for their fathers, for their mothers, their sisters, etc.
Right. Wow. Listen, this is such a big thing, and from what I understand, by the end of the year, we're looking at upwards of 10,000.
10,000 people who are going to be released under this bill. Yeah, and even in addition, yesterday, there was a major announcement at the White House The President Trump committed to HUD addressing the barriers on housing for people with criminal records. He also announced an increase in the bond program to provide employers a bond on formerly incarcerated workers. In addition to him also announcing that the Department of Energy is doing a tour to learn what energy jobs they can train formerly incarcerated people to do. I think that that's a great job from the administration side. But when you look at the private sector, right, we got Uber, we got Lyft, we got Talkspace, who are going to be donating resources to these people who are going to be returning back to our community. So think about it. Uber, Lyft is going to be donating rideshare credits so that people can make it to their probation officer, so that they can make it to their prospective job interviews. We got Talkspace and in a therapeutic clinic right here in the state of Connecticut who are going to be donating approximately 1,000 hours of therapy so that people can actually be decompressed from their traumatic experience of being incarcerated, right? Shout out to Innovative Family Reentry, who is right here in Connecticut, who is going to be donating some clinical therapeutic hours to our population. So this was a major announcement yesterday for those individuals who are going to be coming home. That announcement came via Kim Kardashian West, who is a great ally in the fight for a criminal justice reform nationwide. Obviously, Dan Jones was there. Shout out to who I consider our coach and the brain trust behind the First Step Act, Jessica Jackson Sloan, who is also our national director and our co-founder. And it was also that stage, that White House stage. Think about this, DJ Big Man. That White House stage was shared by people who are formerly incarcerated. People such as John Kufos, people such as David Safavian, people such as Marcus Bullock. Wow. These are people who were in a prison cell. They went from prison house to the White House. And only in America and only in a country of second can that happen.
Man, this is incredible. Listen, for people who want to find out more, and do their own research and really find out how maybe this could help out a family member that they may have incarcerated.
Our website is cut50, cut50.org. Whatever one is easier for you to remember.
And listen, if you want to hear more about this, Sunday morning, he's going to be on the air with me with the Sunday morning discussion, okay? Listen, Lewis, I want to thank you for coming in and stepping in at the last minute because Van Jones, his schedule got crazy, breaking news and everything else. And we understand how that happens with someone who's in high demand like that. So for you to step in and talk about what's going on here, I really appreciate it.
This is dope, man. This is dope. Right. And the work that you're doing in the community, the work that Hot 97 is doing throughout the state is something that's definitely needed, man.
No doubt, man.
Shout out to DJ Big Man.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
In the entire state of Connecticut. You heard it here first, man. Cut 50, Louis L. Reed, man. This is what it is.
Oh, man. It's Hot 93.7 Hot in the community. All right, peace.